I welcome back all of you. Hope you stayed inside your home and studied and did all your homework. Today we will start with the second chapter of geography. The name of the chapter is Major Landforms. So, about one fourth, that is 29% of Earth's surface is land. Okay, what is the meaning of landforms? The different physical features of Earth. Okay, it's called landform. These landforms, they are created. Okay, the formation has happened because of the natural processes such as erosion, wind, rain, chemical actions, and various different weather conditions. Okay, so there are four major types of landforms. Okay, the first one is mountains, valleys, plateaus, and plains. To understand how these landforms they form, we have to understand the two processes that because of which we get these different landforms. Okay, the first one is endogenous process, the second one is exogenous process. Okay, so remember one thing, everything happens below or over, okay, on or under the earth's surface, that generates the different landforms. So let's first study the endogenous processes. Endogenous process is what is there in this process. It happens in large scale. Okay, it happens in large scale and it transforms large areas into landforms. Okay, what happens in this one, this takes place because of compression and tension of earth's crust. Okay, resulting in the movement of crustal plates, also known as your tectonic plates movement. Okay, when what happens here is there are two types of movements in endogenous processes. Okay, the first one is when the tectonic plates, okay, when they move towards each other from opposite directions. Okay, they form or they create elevations. They are called convergent plates. These convergent plates are responsible for the formation of mountains and deep trenches. Next is what, when these plates move away from each other. Okay, when they move away means they are in one place and they are moving away from that place. Okay, not towards each other, opposite to each other. They are called as divergent plates, and these plates are responsible for the formation of rift valleys. Next is your exogenous processes. Exogenous processes involves forces on or above the earth's surface, means it is happening on the earth's surface, like change in river, ice, wind, atmospheric changes. These forces are responsible for breaking rocks and abrasion and erosion of the surface, resulting in modification of major relief features like mountains, valleys, plateaus, etc. They lead to the formation of soil, causing landslides, lower the altitude of highlands, and bring about many other localized variation in the terrain features. Okay, so the endogenous processes, it helps in the transformation or building of your endogenous processes. It involves the force on or above the earth's surface. Okay, so the force on the earth's surface like river, ice, and ice, wind, atmospheric changes, when these forces are applied or put on earth's surface, they are responsible for breaking of rocks and abrasions and erosions of the surface, resulting in modification. So it modifies the major relief features, okay, like mountains, valleys, plateaus, etc. So our next topic is mountains. Okay, a mountain is an elevated part of the earth's crust with an average altitude of more than 1500 meters. Okay, so mountain is what? Elevated means what? Something which has come up. Okay, and mountains are the elevated parts, means mountains are the landforms which have come up and it has huge heights. Okay, they are conical in shape with steep slides and a pointed crest called peak. Fine. So The movement of tectonic plates or the crustal plates. Okay, the crustal plates are also known as the tectonic plates. Okay, they are responsible for the formation of the mountains. The movement of these plates is very slow. Okay, so the movement is very slow, therefore it takes several centuries for such mountains to form. Clear? A series of mountain peaks is called a mountain range. Okay, series means a number of mountain peaks together, it is called a mountain range. A number of more or less parallel mountain range forms a mountain system. The Himalayan mountain range is the world's highest mountain range. Some mountains have frozen rivers called glaciers. So the frozen rivers are called glaciers. Some mountains cannot be seen as they are located under sea. Next we have types of mountains. Okay, basically we'll read about three types of mountains: fold mountains, block mountains, and volcanic mountains. Under your fold mountains there will be young mountains and old fold mountains. What is fold? What are fold mountains? Okay, or what is fold mountains? They are formed due to the folding of layers within the upper part of the Earth's crust. Okay, the upper part of the Earth's crust, when it is when it start folding. Okay, when the layers start folding, fold mountains are created. Okay, folding is an endogenous process. It comes under endogenous process. Fine. In which two forces push towards each other from opposite sides. These mountains are formed when two continental plates or a continental plate and an oceanic plate move towards each other. The movement of plates forces sedimentary rocks upwards to form a series of folds. The folding of rocks takes place in different ways. The folding of rock is called anticline, and the folding of rock downwards is called syncline. You can see in this picture. Okay, so when the mountains, okay, when the folding of rocks, when it's going up, the process of going up, this is called as anticline, upward arch of rock layer. When it's coming down, okay, over here, this part is called syncline. Okay, fold mountains are of two types. I already told you. 10 to 25 million years old are known as young fold mountains. You can see the examples over here. And the mountains which are 200 million years old are known as old fold mountains. You can see the examples over here. They are also called as residual mountains. Okay, since their altitude has been greatly reduced by various natural agents through different processes of denudation, their present altitude is merely a residue or remains of their original great elevation, hence the name. Okay, means because of various natural agents their height has been reduced. Okay, and the present altitude, okay, the present height is merely the residue or remains of their original great elevation, hence the name. Topic is block mountains. Okay, these are formed by the faults in the Earth's crust. The faulting process, okay, in this process a huge amount of pressure is created under the Earth's surface. Okay, because of which whole block of rock, okay, can you see over here like this, a huge amount of pressure is put from both the sides. Okay, from this side also, this side also. So when the force is put, this part it goes up. Okay, so each raised block, okay, is called a horse, and each depressed block is called a graben. Understood? And this is how a block mountain is formed. I hope all of you have understood. I'll tell you once more. When the pressure, okay, is added from the two sides, this middle portion, it breaks away from these two rocks and it goes up. Okay, it fractures, it breaks away, and it forcefully goes up, and the shape, it remains like this. Okay, so these kind of mountains are called your block mountains. The various examples are Black Forest, the Voyagers, and the Vindhyas. Come to the next one. Volcanic. So our volcanic mountain, it is formed when magma, it erupts and pile upon the surface. It becomes like it shapes like a mountain, and it becomes your volcanic mountain. When magma breakthroughs the earth crust, it's called lava. After cooling, lava forms a cone of rock. Rock and lava pile up in layers on top of each other. Some of the well-known volcanic mountains are Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa and Mount Fujiyama in Japan. So the formation of your volcanic mountains, it is made up of what? Rock and lava. It has layers of rock and lava. So our next topic is importance of mountains. Why mountains are important? Because it is the major source of fresh water, because all major rivers, it originates from mountains. Okay, melting snow from glacier, it supplies fresh water to these rivers. Okay, and these rivers are called as perennial rivers. They flow through densely populated plains, provide water for settlement, agriculture, and industry. Our next important set, high fold mountain ranges like the Himalayas and the Ains act as climatic barriers. Okay, so Himalayas and the Ains, it acts as a climatic barrier, means because of their height. Okay, that it controls the temperature. It saves us from the cold wind from the other side of the mountains. Okay, they cause orographic rainfall and also control other elements of climate like temperature and wind movement. Hydroelectricity power plants are built on most rivers that flows from mountains since they have high velocity. Mountains are huge reserves for various types of forest resources such as timber and herbs. They are also storehouse for mineral and precious and semi-precious stones. Mountains maintain ecological balance by providing natural habitat to variety of your floral and fauna. So we will stop here today. We will continue with the other part of your chapter in our next class. Thank you.